Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 596 days, we welcome you back to Paul McGinley Field for Trinity men's soccer action here in SCAC play. Today's game brings the Southwestern Pirates, led by head coach Dustin Norman, down to San Antonio to face Coach Paul McGinley's Trinity Tigers. Coach Paul McGinley in his 30th season in the top 5 in winning percentage in the country for Division III soccer. The starting lineups for the two coaches will start with the visiting Southwestern Pirates. Jack Viles gets the start in between the Trinity. You see them walking out onto the field on the right of your screen. It'll be Juan Carlos Vidalis in goal, center back pairing of Brady Johnson and Pieter Blanc. Back from his time away in the Netherlands, Jacob Galan on the right. And Jack Eubank, the first year, gets the start at left back. In the engine room, the midfield, we've got Mac McCord alongside senior captain Quentin Vanderlee with Jack Downs just in front of him to the right and left. You've got Connor Jones and Neil Verwillow, and hometown hero Philip Dueñas leads the line. The two teams will take their final huddles, and we are excited to bring you Trinity men's soccer action here. Like I said, been nearly 600 days. Last game was November 17th, 2019. Before, of course, they had the canceled season, now pushed into the spring, where we'll play an abbreviated conference-only schedule. And speaking of conference play, it's Southwestern who comes into this one second in the table behind the University of St. Thomas. Southwestern is 2-0-1 with wins over TOU, Shriner, and a draw against Colorado College. Trinity opening their season a bit late last weekend, came hot out of the blocks with 2 wins. And they are just behind the Pirates in the standings. Of course, it may come down to win percentage in the end, but for now, listed by total points, which the Tigers have 6 and the Southwestern Pirates have 7. And we are underway for Trinity's home opener in 2021. Two teams characterized by very different styles. Trinity will likely have a majority of the possession in this game as Johnston swings it back around to fellow senior Pieter Blanc. See how some issues. Relax. Johnston drops it back to Vidalis. Plenty of touches early on here for the back line. Blanc looks for a big switch. He's got Verwillow in some space, but it's just under hit. Eubanks picks up the pieces. And Trinity possesses now down the left wing. Verwillow can't keep it in play. Van Houten comes across to ensure that. And it'll be an early goal kick for Jack Viles, the first year out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Getting the start today ahead of senior goalkeeper Jackson Kruger, who was the #1 for a majority of last season. Played 8 games. All starts. Viles in the shade here, but a majority of the field bathed in sun. It may not be August when we usually have our Trinity home opener, but it certainly feels like it. Temperature up in the high 80s, feeling like 90. And because of that, we will take hydration breaks halfway through each half, as the officials informed us before the game. It's a free kick for Trinity just around the halfway line for a foul on Mac McCord. Will rise to meet it just at half field. And a bump in the back is giving Trinity a free kick just inside the attacking half. Tiger fans will be very grateful to see Brady Johnson back out on the field for moments like these, set pieces where they can get the ball in the box. He's already opened his account for the season, and of course in that All-American campaign as a junior, he was double digits from the center back position between penalties and set piece goals. Van Houten sends this one clear for Southwestern. Johnston battling up against DeHaven. Another win in the midfield for Vanderlee. Some space for Verwillow. He'll come inside onto his right foot and find Jack Downs operating in between the lines. Switches the ball out to the right side for Jacob Galan. He's on the run. Puts it through for Connor Jones. The cross may come in. It does. It's dinked in towards the 6. The save was out of bounds just before Jones could reach it. Jacob Gallant, named first-team All-SCAC last season, with the majority of his minutes coming at center back. Shifted out to the right back position this year to accommodate Peter Blanc, returning after a couple of years away from the team. It's a strong senior center back partnership between Johnston and Blanc, and arguably the Tigers' best defender, Jacob Gallant, at right back. As the goal kick from Jack Viles is sent out of play into where we wish the Trinity fans were sat. Still unable to attend events here on campus. Blanc's volleyed ball into midfield, finds Vanderlee, whose touch pops up. It's still loose right around the halfway line. Eventually launched clear. This one's going to hold up just in front of Vidalis. Johnston's going to have to get to it. And he does. He pokes it out towards Jack Eubank. Eubank into McCord. Finds Verwillow, but Verwillow with an errant pass is giving the ball up for DeHaven. DeHaven already with a game-winning goal on the season earlier against Schreiner. Has a shot blocked there. Piot now down the left wing. The two number 6s come up against each other, and Gallant will just let that one run out of play for a throw-in. And an early substitution here, just 5 minutes into the game. Verwillow a bit gingerly coming to the sideline here, and Chin Adji will make his home debut for Trinity. He was on the score sheet in the come-from-behind victory last weekend against Austin College, and he poses a vertical threat here on the left wing. Transfer over from St. Edward's University. And of course, if you're familiar with Southwestern soccer, you know that these throw-ins are crucial to the tactical plan of the team. Long throws, flip throws, they've got them all in the locker, and they like to take advantage of it at every opportunity. This time, though, Trinity comes away with it, and Jones is going to look for the big switch, looking to get Adji involved immediately. It's headed clear by Mabry, but turned over back to Trinity. Now Eubank with some space ahead of him. He came infield and was able to get it to Jack Downs, who wanted to look for Dueñez. Repelled but not cleared by the Pirates. Vanderlee drops it off to Eubank, who's caught up there. Nathaniel Blake pokes it away. Eubank with the throw into Dueñez, who's able to lose his man momentarily. It's a good ball into the feet of the forward for Southwestern, but DeHaven just couldn't hold it up. Those moments so important for the Pirates, who don't have much possession. They've got to be able to make it stick when they do find a teammate. Right now, though, it's a Pirates player down behind the play. Peyton Sullivan, first-year midfielder out of Southlake, Texas. Slow to get up.
You didn't acknowledge it the first time.
And eventually, Sullivan does get to his feet. I think Trinity had the ball when the whistle was blown. We'll see how the referee chooses to handle the situation. Usually with a uncontested drop ball, we'll see. And Downs takes the drop ball. There's confusion there as to what should be going on.
That's going to get nasty.
But it results in a Trinity corner. Jack Downs to take from the far side, and the back line comes forward into the box. And the Southwestern coaching staff a bit perplexed as Trinity goes short. They work it around the edge of the box. Sent in on the left foot towards the back post. Gallant rises to meet it, keeps it alive. Second header won by Blanc, sent into the goalkeeper.
Was it a drop ball or was he giving us possession? What did it look like? I don't know. I'm not over there. So you'll have to kill.
And after all that, you still hear the coaching staff worried about the drop ball situation from moments ago. Results eventually in a goal kick for Jack Viles. Pirates congregate around the halfway line. 5 of them in and around the area, but it's sent towards Johnson, not the player that they would want to be going up against in the air. It's sent skyward by Van Houten. Neither team able to get a foot on the ball so far. Chance now for Southwestern to come forward. Mabry combines well, and this is some decent play here from Southwestern, but eventually turned over to Trinity, who can now go on the counterattack. It popped up, though, and hit Connor Jones on the hand. So any counterattacking possibilities are halted.
Down midfield. Higher. Your line's been
And some of the taller players sent forward now for the Pirates to win the first ball and maybe get a knockdown in and around the Trinity area. Sent into the box, and the initial header is flicked on and won by Sullivan. It's tracked down by Adji, who sends a good clearance down the line. Duenas in pursuit. And it's sent into touch by Fortner. Downs wanted to go quickly. Adji advocating for him to take his time as he came into the front line. Good ball into the feet of Duenas, who can turn with Adji to his left. Puts a foot on the ball to try and slow down the play and let others into the attack. But it was Garduna Jaramillo who stopped him in his tracks and sent the ball clear. Jacob Galan. Pass into the midfield for Jack Downs. Ran into a tough tackle, sent it into touch on the far side. Throw in to Galan, poked away from him, and they'll do it again. Downs back to Galan, has it taken away from him, and now the Pirates go on the break. Sent forward towards DeHaven, but intercepted by Blanc. Good combination to speak of thus far. The longer it stays that way, the happier that Coach Norman and the Pirates will be coming here into San Antonio. McCord, pressured by Blake, will go back to Vidalis, who's getting the 3rd straight start in between the sticks for Trinity. And Viles will take his time, set it down in front of him. As almost all of the Pirates team congregated in just about a 20-yard square past the halfway line. Duenas eventually does go to pressure. And Viles sends it clear. Blake wins the first header. And Johnston pokes it towards Jones on the right side. That time Jones not called for a handball, despite it popping up on him once again. Be a Southwestern throw right around the halfway line. And it'll be an interesting test to see just where is the threshold for the long throw to come out. Looks like it's at least half field as Van Houten comes across. That one, though, doesn't get a ton of distance. It's sent high and out of bounds. Uncharacteristic mistake from a throw-in, something Southwestern practices clearly quite often. Adji applying the pressure here, looking to make life difficult for the Pirates' back line. And eventually does force the throw-in on the far side, which Galan takes quickly. Goes to McCord, who opened his collegiate account on opening day against the University of Dallas with the winning goal from outside the box. Johnson to Eubank. One-touch pass into Adji. Goes past the first defender, shrugs off Nathaniel Blake, and draws the foul. Fernando Garduna Jaramillo. It's a great run there from Adji. I'll get Tiger fans excited seeing him for the first time at Paul McGinley Field. And Jack Downs will be on the free kick. He scored twice against the Pirates last season, once from a free kick opportunity. This one more of an area to cross it in, and that's what he does. He looks for a teammate. The heads go up, and it's put wide. I think last touch off either Blanc or Johnston, the 2 targets. These two teams off to relatively low scoring starts to their respective seasons. 1 goal in each of the opening 3 games for the Pirates, and 3 goals in the first 2 games for Trinity. Tigers playing without their leading scorer from last season, Andrea Cottaspati, who also had a pair of goals against the Pirates last year. Jones sends it forward. Dueñas battling to try and win it back, but it's turned over to Southwestern at least momentarily. Eventually arrives at the feet of Jacob Gallant. Sends it down the line. Good turn from Connor Jones. Can get his head up. He's got 3 defenders around him, but he's got players in the middle. It was 2v2 at the back post. But solid defending from Van Houten to prevent it from reaching Dueñas. Johnston, this time with time to pick his head up. DeHaven eventually comes across. Not before he can find Gallant. Higher into the attack now. Jacob Gallant. And winning a throw-in for the home team. Gallant looking for Dueñas, who's asking for a push in the back. It won't come. And Johnson now motoring forward and takes a long shot. First shot of the game, besides the headers, is sent high and wide. Johnson, never afraid to have a pop-it goal. And first substitute of the game preparing to come in now for the Pirates. It's Theo Givens, coming off a game in which he scored a late equalizer against Colorado College. Come off the bench in just a moment. Flick on header 1 at midfield for the Pirates, and they continue to play the territory game. They'll take a throw in from about 40 yards from the Trinity goal. Mabry, the one to depart, as Givens enters the field for the first time today. Looks like he'll play on the right wing up against Jackie Eubank. Also brings some height to the lineup. First year forward from Austin, Texas. This one's sent into the area now. Shot comes in, and Skylar Frey dribbles it harmlessly wide. First shot of the game for the Pirates, just about 15 minutes into this contest. Won't worry Juan Carlos Vidales. Vidales goes short to Blanc, who is clattered into that time by DeHaven. Trinity looking to go quickly, nearly play themselves into trouble, and they still may, as Johnson is under pressure that time by Blake. Now the Pirates will retreat as Matt McCord has it in the midfield for Trinity. Johnson, head up, takes out Jack Downs, nothing ahead of him. And they'll drop it back to Downs as the Southwestern's press is engaged. Eubank trying to combine with Adji. For a throw-in now for Trinity.
Relax here, stay.
Eubank to take. He's got Vanderlee near him and eventually finds Adji, who checks 2. Gets it back from the throw-in. Adji can just show some sweet feet. Wins another throw-in for his team. Eubank getting the start in the absence of Colton Wilbur, who unfortunately was injured on the opening weekend. Started the 2 games, unable to do so today. Dueñas, ball into the midfield for Vanderlee. He'll turn, drop it back to fellow senior Brady Johnston. Blanc now, head up, looking for a big switch perhaps. Instead will go short to Gallant. Gallant forward to Downs, combines with Jones. Vanderlee looking for the line-breaking pass. It does find its way to Connor Jones, battling with it in the corner now. Jacob Gallant past one defender into Jack Downs, who gets the cross away, and the nearest to it was Phil Duenas. But ultimately, nothing doing for Trinity there. Good look at the interplay around the edge of the area. Down sends in the left-footed cross. Just needed a flick on from Duenas, who was a step behind. And back in real time, DeHaven able to knock it down, and now Southwestern streaming bodies forward. They've got a chance here, first time into the Trinity box. And they send the shot wide of the near post. Coming straight out of the replay, Southwestern looking to make their presence felt on the counterattack. They're actually called for offside on the flicked-on header from DeHaven. That shows the threat that they can pose going the other way. Vidales goes short to Blanc. It's overhit, and it'll run out in front of Peter Blanc. And that is a needless giveaway to a Southwestern team who loves to take throw-ins. We saw this last season in the 2 games, which Trinity was able to win, both 2-1. Make you stay mentally switched on from minute 1. And this one's out for a Trinity throw on the far side. This time it's Trinity going long. Duenas is the only one in pursuit. It goes all the way back through to Viles, the goalkeeper. He's quick to put the ball down. Trinity now starting to take note and making him get into that 6-second timer. Should be playing in the referee's head every time he picks it up. Wiles with a booming punt, met by Galan, knocked down for McCord. Sends it to a dangerous area. It's Theo Givens that's on it. Neither team able to get a foot on this goal kick as of yet. Eubank heads it in front of Agee. Van Houten comes across to deal with it. Sends it down the line where there's no runners in yellow. Giveaway there from Jack Eubank. Matt McCord beaten on the dribble. And Blake in pursuit, but Eubank able to make amends and clear it that time. A dangerous giveaway from the young left back. Southwestern feign a short throw, but in an area like this, they'll be licking their chops as they send some of their taller players into the box. Sullivan looks like the target. Can't win the flick on header, but it's still loose in the area before Jones can come and clear. Duenas in pursuit, up by himself. Scott Wilson drops it back to Viles. Fortner closed down by Agee and forced into a giveaway. And after a relatively uneventful opening quarter of the game, we will come across for a quick water break. And I will take it with them. We are a quarter of the way through this one. Just a one shot on goal for Trinity. See if it opens up for the rest of this first half when we return. Two teams retake the field here in San Antonio after the water break. Just a couple of minutes to get fluids on. We see some changes in the lineup for Trinity. Fraser Burns and Michael Somerville enter the game. And looks like Jesus Velos as well for Jacob Galan. Now 5 changes in total from the starting group. It'll be Eubank actually that takes a seat. Galan moves to left back, where Southwestern have been targeting down this right side. It was interesting to see at the water break. Plenty of coaching going on, obviously, for the two teams, but also the lobbying as the officials came across as well, between Coach Norman and Coach McGinley, both hoping to get a word in. Johnston can only pop the initial header up, but knocks it down for Galan. And Theo Givens will allow that one to run out for a Southwestern throw. Van Houten to take. Van Houten, the senior from Port Neches, Texas, getting the armband this year after a strong performance earned him second team All-SCAC last campaign. Johnston trying to get back to his feet, eventually able to do so, and Vanderlee sends it clear. Somerville in pursuit. And it's sent back down the field by the Pirates. Get a foot on the ball and send it into the area, and it breaks initially here before popping up for Vidales. It was a crucial tackle by Brady Johnston as Jackson DeHaven was onside. Thought initially maybe he wasn't, and Johnston struggling as he limps away from the tackle. See, it was a matter of inches. Ball here, head up, has his crossfield ball blocked by Nathaniel Blake. Ball into midfield for Burns, who can't control it. Garduno Jaramillo has his clearance blocked by Burns. And knocked down now for Agee. Some space as the Pirates come retreating. Burns wanted to put it in behind for Somerville. Just found the yellow shirt. Galan into midfield for Ethan Moore, who's comfortable on the ball, but that time overcooked the pass to Johnston, who had to track it down and send it back to his goalkeeper. Vidales. Booming ball in behind, finds Connor Jones. There's 4 in the attack now as Burns joins in. Connor Jones around his defender, low cross towards Michael Somerville. But it was put behind for a corner. Great work there from Vidales to find Jones, and Jones to turn it into a set piece. And with the threat posed by Johnson and Blanc, as well as the likes of Somerville and Agee, Trinity will look to take advantage. It's Burns who sets the ball down in the corner. He'll take. One hand raised. Velos comes short, but it's sent towards Johnson, who got ahead on his header's blocked. And the follow-up is repelled before it comes out to Blanc. Still from the tackle moments ago.
20-30 seconds.
Sent it back across. And I don't think there was anything necessarily. Rather, it was the earlier injury at the other end. And of course, you just hope it's not that knee that has plagued Johnston over the past year, caused him to miss a full season. He'll be replaced by J.C. Rule. And still confusion with the referee about a drop ball situation. We had this earlier in the game. And Southwestern felt aggrieved last time, and they won't do what some would consider the sporting thing and send it back to Trinity, who had a player down injured. Johnson, accompanied by the medical trainer, walked off the field now, as Rule will take his spot in the left center back role. And Southwestern do send it forward all the way through to Vidalis. It wasn't necessarily in the most sporting of ways as DeHaven was closing it down.
But your guy did it. Your guy caused that.
And now Rule, first action in the game, finds the ball into the midfield for Burns. Out of play for Trinity throw. Mofi Arreo ready to come in now for the Pirates. As Golan's told to take a couple of steps back here for the throw-in. Ball goes into Somerville, looking to hold it up. Drops it off to Adji. Ball into midfield where there's some space for Ethan Moore. Quickly closed down. He sends it across to Jesus Falos. Looks for a ball into the area. Got repelled. Moore and Vanderlee work it out of pressure, the two seniors. Now Galan. Give and go situation here with Adji. He'll now take down the line. Left-footed cross comes in. Last touch off Van Houten, who got the block. And it'll be yet another Trinity corner. Third of the game. Arreo made to wait to come into the game. Burns will have the in-swinging delivery this time. Sends it towards the back post, rising to try and meet it was Galan, but it went all the way through. Tracked down by Blanc. Blanc into Galan, who's just on the edge of the area. Dropped off for Vanderlee, who can't keep it, and Jones is the last man back for Trinity. DeHaven applying the pressure. Velos tackled there. Last touch off of him for a Southwestern throw on the far side. And there'll be 4 subs in total here. The one that we knew about, Mofi Arroyo, comes in for Southwestern, but 3 for Trinity as Wesley Mitchell, Kyle Davis, and Jake Simon come onto the field. Season debut for Wesley Mitchell. He came up with some big goals down the stretch for Trinity, who last season, of course, went 2 rounds deep into the NCAA tournament, despite losing in the SCAC semifinals. We got to host those games here at Paul McGinley Field. Eventually advancing from the pod was Claremont Mudscripts, who also defeated fellow SCAC opponents, Texas Lutheran University. Great touch from Burns, finds space for Mitchell on the left. His first involvement of the season. He's got Theo Givens one-on-one, goes past his defender, but the help defense got it back for the Pirates. Header from Rule. Puts Galan in trouble. Rule tracking back all the way. Ethan Moore coming across to try and put out the fire as well. And last touch off Theo Givens. It's a very young Southwestern team. Theo Givens, one of 16 first-year players for Coach Norman, who's now getting into his recruiting flow in his 3rd season. Just the 3 seniors, of course, Van Houten, who plays such a pivotal role, but the other 2, Luis Ramirez and Jackson Kruger, not on the field today so far. Southwestern, who reached the NCAA tournament for the first and only time in program history a couple seasons ago. I've looked to continue to build off of that, and so far this season, so good for the Pirates. Mitchell applying the pressure to Van Houten. Didn't have any options ahead of him, just knocks it off Mitchell for another throw. Trinity opting to keep fresh legs on the field as they've got pretty much an entirely changed 11 out there, minus the goalkeeper and Peter Blanc. Opposite approach for the Pirates, just a few changes from their starting group. Simon looks to get the ball under control here in the center circle. Sends it out to Velos. Has Kyle Davis ahead of him, who drops it back to Simon. Time for J.C. Rule to get his head up and meander into the midfield. This time he goes to Galan. Down the line for Mitchell. Galan into the feet of Somerville. Is looking to hold it up with a defender draped on his back. It's one back, and Southwestern can go the other way. It's a one-on-one race between Arroyo and Blanc before Vidalis comes across to clear. Sliced clearance that time, and Burns looking to profit off of it. Galan left forward in the attack. Here he comes, cutting in onto his favored right foot. Galan looking for Kyle Davis in behind, not on the same page. And Mofi Arroyo's offsides at the other end. Blanc allowed to switch it out to Veloz. They'll drop it back to JC Rule. Quickly to Moore. Popped up in the left back roll here, looking for the cross-field switch. It's pinpoint onto the chest of Kyle Davis, who gets the cross away. It's under hit. So you see some of the Trinity fans starting to gather just outside the fence of Paul McGinley Field. It's the wild, wild west outside that fence, I tell you. Ball runs out of play ahead of Kyle Davis, and we'll see a couple of changes for Coach Norman and the Pirates. Eric Embry, the sophomore midfielder from Pflugerville, and the aforementioned Luis Ramirez, senior out of Austin, Texas, Anderson High School, replaces Peyton Sullivan. Skylar Frey, the other, to head to the bench. Southwestern, from the looks of it, playing without one of their best players last season, Ashton Bynum, sophomore, who is from San Antonio. Was named honorable mention All-SCAC last year with 5 goals and 3 assists. We haven't seen him today, and with how deep we are in the rotation, you have to assume he's unavailable. Likewise with Trinity's top scorer on the other side, Andrea Cadaspati, playing no part today. So amongst those available today, it's Philip Dueñas, who had 7 goals last year. Had the most for the Tigers. This one sent into the area. Rule out jumped initially. Simon pokes it clear, coming across. Van Houten is under pressure from Burns and puts it out of play for a Trinity throw. 12:35 remaining in the first half. Best chance of the game so far went to Southwestern. But a goal-saving tackle from Brady Johnson denied them the game's opening goal. Johnson injured on the play, since been forced to the bench. Trinity looking to up the tempo a little bit here and break down this astute Southwestern defense. They've got Kyle Davis 1-against-1. That's something they like to see. Gets past his defender, sends the low cross in. No touch from a Southwestern player, just goes behind harmlessly. And Jack Files will set up for the goal kick. Winston Herbert, another first year from Bullard, Texas. And he'll come on to the field for one of the 2 captains for the Pirates, Fernando Garduno Jaramillo, who was also All-SCAC honorable mention last year in his first season for Coach Norman. He takes his time to come to the sideline and gets the fist pump from Coach Norman for a solid 35-minute performance here in the first half, breaking up play.
Let's go, goal! Let's go, goal!
Rule goes back to Vidalis.
Relax! Get under it!
Vidalis had Mitchell in space for a moment, but didn't have his head up when he needed to. Instead, will go to the right side. Davis closest to it, but it's repelled by the Pirates. That time Mitchell able to get ahead on it. Now 3 in the attack for Trinity. Davis looking to put it through for Mitchell, but he's got it back here around the defender. But it'll run out of play before he can reach it. Some good energy in the attacking third that time for Kyle Davis, who replaced Connor Jones about 5-10 minutes ago. And as Peter Blanc comes to the sideline, Armand Islam will check into the game for the first time. And Jacob Galan, now the only outfield player to have played the first 35 minutes for the Tigers. Rule loses that battle with Arroyo in the air. Islam, a great player to bring into a game like this where there's tons of aerial battles despite his height. And he's listed at 5'9". He can jump with the best of them and is extremely effective in the air. Moore will just look to switch from the free kick. Finds Galan, who comes in field. Has the feet of Burns. Theo Givens tracking back, breaks up the pass. Somerville now pulling up Trinity striker. I think he may have tweaked something there, trying to close down one of the Southwestern defenders. Theo Givens, big crossfield switch. It's onto the head of a teammate who just sends it casually into the arms of Vidales. Mitchell, just out of your screen, has his arms raised in the left winger position, wanting those long balls to come to his head. He's won a few of them.
Two stretch, Nathaniel.
But Trinity now opting to play out of the back, as we're used to seeing here at Paul McGinley Field, and what a surface to do it. Grounds crew keeping the field in pristine condition for this year's home opener. Vidales sends this one long down the right touchline. Davis first to it, flicks it over the head of his defender, and Kyle Davis going into the area. And the referee's given a penalty. It was right around the edge of the area. Weren't sure whether the contact occurred inside or out, and I think just to make sure the officials will confer on the far side. We'll see, as Davis had a great touch to flick it over his defender. And contact does look like it was in the area. So we'll be headed to the spot here. Trinity last season 3 of 3 from the spot. And is it Fraser Burns that steps up to take it? It is. The junior midfielder from Scotland has a chance to give Trinity the all-important first goal from 12 yards. Faces off against Jack Viles, first-year goalkeeper from Scottsdale, Arizona. Get a chance to make a play here. Fraser Burns, couple of steps up and rolls it past the diving Jack Viles. Fraser Burns' first goal of the season comes from 12 yards, and it comes with 8 minutes to go in the first half against Southwestern. You see Burns opts to go without much power, and Viles, dives too strong to his right. So Davis drew the penalty, Burns put it away. And the Tigers have a first half lead here. And that's incredibly important against Southwestern, as they've only scored 1 goal in each of their opening 3 games. Burns, whose impact doesn't always show up on the score sheet with goals or assists. This time it does, as he steps up to convert the penalty. Trinity stays perfect over the last 2 seasons from the spot. Good interplay around the edge of the area for Southwestern, and Islam tasked with breaking it up. And he doesn't do so, and the shot is deflected. Jackson Gill puts that one off a defender and behind for a corner. That's some of the best play we've seen from the Pirates so far today. A team that often plays so defensively, but you see the flashes when they get into the attacking areas. They do have the quality required to break down the Trinity back line, especially with Johnson on the sideline. Corner sent towards the back post, but no runners there in yellow. And Trinity will happily go and chase the ball and set up for a goal kick. And as much as Trinity has played out of the back and developed some good plays, it was the long ball down the line that led to the penalty that Davis drew. So see if they vary up the approach perhaps in the second half with some adjustments. This time it's J.C. Rule who sends it the same ball down the line. Somerville the one chasing. And it runs out of play. Last touch off Fortner.
Jacob, join US as soon
Veloz with the ball in his hands on the far side for the throw. It's the ball laid back at his feet, drops it off to Simon. Pokes it in behind for Somerville. Combination play just in and around the area for Trinity at the moment. Finds the feet of Moore. Wanted the ball towards Mitchell, but the clearance is tracked down by Galan. Header from Simon, finds Galan, who's used his chest here to put it towards Burns. Van Houten closed down by Burns, the goal scorer. Last touch off the Scotsman. Van Houten goes quickly. His throw-in repelled by Islam, who's not happy with his own effort there. Goes out for another throw. Van Houten with a low throw in that time towards Givens. Trinity able to turn it over. And Vidalis will come all the way across to use his feet here. Goes short to Rule. Ethan Moore, plenty of space here for him to come forward into the midfield, but quickly closed down by Arroyo and tangled up. The referee calls a foul for Trinity. The space seemed to open up for Moore before Arroyo came flying across to close him down. Referee just says he's overzealous in doing so. Trinity take the free kick quickly. Flick around the corner from Davis. He's playing confidently after drawing the penalty. He'll get it back here. Kyle Davis going into the area. That time a clean tackle for Southwestern. Stops the attack momentarily. Simon finally gets a foot on the bouncing ball. Southwestern send it into touch, and we're under 5 to go in the first half. Trinity leading in shots 6-3. 2 of those on target for the Tigers, none so far for the Pirates. Galan with a great ball in behind for Somerville, but the flag goes up as Somerville deals with his defender and sends the shot over the goal. Trinity finding more and more encouragement from the long ball here, as they've set up Southwestern to expect that short play out of the back style. Some of the runners starting to find some space in front of Southwestern goalkeeper Jack Viles. I have to mention, as much as Southwestern has recently improved as a program under Coach Norman, the all-time record against Trinity still doesn't give them much reason to hope in this fixture. Trinity, is 34-1 all-time against the Pirates. A record that goes all the way back to 1993 when Trinity took the opening game between these two teams 10-0 up in Georgetown. Of course, things have changed mightily since that game, but it was in fact a sign of things to come between these two schools. Only time that Southwestern were able to come out on top came back in 2013, a 1-0 success. There have been some close calls as of late, the past few years. Van Houten sends this one into the area. Galan wins the first header.
Louis, set it up! One on the post, one out!
Senior Luis Ramirez being tasked with setting up the set piece here from the throw-in by Coach Norman. Van Houten takes it, as always. Some jockeying for position at the near post. The referee's going to come across and have a word. Givens looks like he's coming for a potential flick on. I do look for the head of Givens, but Mitchell is the one that meets it, and they'll try it again rather than bringing that ball under control and sending it across. 2 minutes and change remain in the first half. Southwestern trailing by a goal. Take yet another long throw here. Van Houten towards Givens, who's looking to make it happen there with the body positioning. This time Van Houten does go and send it back towards teammates in the area. But it was overhit. And Trinity will do well just to see out these final 2 minutes of the half and get to the break leading. They have a throw-in at the moment just near their corner flag. Header sent in by Southwestern, comfortably claimed by Vidalis. Trinity will look to go on the counter as Galan puts it forward to Mitchell. Mitchell with the defender on his right shoulder. Gets past Givens. Sends it towards Galan, but now Southwestern may have a chance the other way. Put in behind for Arroyo, who committed a foul against Rule. I think Vidalis had it covered either way. Arroyo had been called for a foul on a couple of occasions since coming on as a substitute.
1 minute.
1 minute remaining in the half. Vidalis sends the troops forward, not willing to take any risks as the clock ticks down. They look for the feet of Burns and they find him. He's called for a high kick there. The ball just popped up towards the head. Always more comfortable using his feet, Fraser Burns. 30 seconds on the clock. Van Houten sends it towards Givens. Moore able to win the initial header. Second effort sent in by Embry, also repelled by the Tigers. Belos to Davis with 10 seconds remaining. And it's into touch for the final time in the first half. Trinity lead off of a penalty converted by Fraser Burns, 1-0. And their home opener of the 2021 SCAC season. See 2 shots on goal for the Tigers. One of those hit the net behind Jack Viles, whose team was able to muster up 3 shots, none of those testing Vidalis. Committed 7 fouls and took plenty of throw-ins. And I'm sure we'll see more of that in the second half as these 2 teams continue to battle it out in a hotly contested affair. We've got 15 minutes on the clock and we'll be right back with you after the halftime break. You're watching Trinity Soccer on the Tiger Network.
Number 6, the sophomore center, Marissa Amarino. Number 9, junior right side player, Sarah Flynn. Number 10, the first-year middle blocker, Carly Brookhouse. Number 12, the sophomore outside hitter, Stephanie Inohosa. Number 13, the first-year right side player, Ashley Drew. Number 14, the sophomore middle blocker, Brett Thornton. Number 17, the first-year outside hitter, Mackenzie Logan. Number 20, the junior middle blocker, Emma Trump. Number 21, the first-year outside hitter, Paige Vincent. The starting lineup. Number 2, a junior center, Lexi Acevedo. Number 3, the senior outside hitter, Annie Rose Levitt. Number 4, a first-year middle blocker, Patty Bates. Number 7, the libero, the senior, Sammy Lynn. Number 8, the junior middle blocker, Emily Ellis. Number 11, the senior outside hitter, Avery Tuggle. Number 15, the junior right side player, Sarah Williams. The assistant coaches are Brenda Lerner, Brad Phillips, and Bo. Let's go!
Thank you for tuning into this 7 p.m. match, Trinity versus St. Thomas. If you missed the first one that occurred at 3 p.m. today, the set scores coming out of that were 25-13, 25-18, and 25-21. Trinity took all 3 sets.
Welcome back to Paul McGinley Field for the second half of action between Trinity and Southwestern. Tigers with the better of the first half were able to go in front through a Fraser Burns penalty converted past Southwestern goalkeeper Jack Viles, who keeps his spot. The only change from the starting 11 for Coach Norman is that Theo Givens is in for Richard Mabry in the forward areas. We'll get a look at that Fraser Burns penalty that gave Trinity the lead. Rolled it down the middle as Viles dove out of the way. And Southwestern ready to go. They've got their kickoff plans all set up. 3 players just out of the view of your screen at the bottom. 3 of their taller players, Givens, Sullivan, and Van Houten, poised to make a run forward. For Trinity, the back four consists of Velos, Blanc, Rule, Galan keeps a spot on the left. Vanderlee and Ethan Moore in the midfield with Mitchell, Downs, Duenas, and Jones in the attack. And the fourth Pirate comes and joins them here down the left wing. They make their way forward. And they'll be launched into their vicinity. Velos able to repel it initially. Nathaniel Blake knocks down the second ball. This is where Southwestern likes it, in these dangerous areas, keeping the ball up in the air, winning the aerial duels, and this time winning a corner. Straight out of the blocks here, 30 seconds gone. Pirates will have their second corner of today's game. Big set piece opportunity for them. Boasts plenty of height in the 11 players out on the field right now. And work pretty consistently on set pieces. It's evident, all types. And we'll see if they can make a count here from a corner. It'll be Blake with the in-swinging left-footed delivery towards Van Houten. And Mitchell was the one that met it for Trinity. Handball appeals for the Pirate coaching staff as ball sent down the other end. Blake tries to put it around the corner for Skylar Frey. J.C. Roll beats him to it. Duenas trying to hold it up for Trinity, but he's robbed of possession. Pirates can only put out of play for a throw-in for the home team. Galan takes into the feet of Mitchell, drops it off for Downs. Trinity plays out of the pressure here momentarily. Vanderlee spreads the play with Velos. He's got Connor Jones ahead of him, and he plays it into the path of the junior. But it's overhit. At that time, Trinity able to create their own space and find the matchup they like, and that's Connor Jones down the right side. Velos in the game as a replacement for Jack Eubank, which shifted Galan over to left back. Of course, the left back area light for Trinity with Colton Wilbur out through injury, and Verwillow picking up a knock as well at the start of this game. Velos that time goes up with Sullivan, who's able to win the header. DeHaven on the back of Peter Blanc, who touched it last, and Southwestern will have a good opportunity here from the throw-in. Throw-in inside the final third. Of course, the bodies will go forward. They leave just 2 back. It's Garrison Van Houten to take. A couple of Southwestern Pirates run towards the ball, and they send it in, flicked on at the near post and at the back post. It was met by appeals for a penalty. We'll see why. The initial header flicked on. And we can't see it from this angle. There's potential that Vanderlee had his hand raised away from the play. Back in real play, Vanderlee pings it into the feet of Velos, whose miscontrolled pass has Southwestern going the other way. Blanc looking to use his body and get back in front. And a very awkward position that time for Blanc to be in. He came across to deal with Peyton Sullivan, who's left in a heap here after the play. His leg was bent back in an awkward awkward way. See, Blanc initially overcommitted and then falling on the leg of Sullivan, keeping him locked in that stretched position. He's back on his feet. The free kick goes against Peter Blanc, and Skylar Frey will have a great opportunity to whip this one in on his favored right foot. Right hand raised, and Frey does whip it towards the back post. The heads go up. Last touch off Trinity. Corner on the other side. It's been all Southwestern set pieces to start this first half.
Trinity, move, lads, let's go, come on!
A couple of personnel changes in the area. Just a couple stay back for Southwestern as Blake goes across to take it. Plenty of players packed in the 6-yard box here for this corner. Nathaniel Blake with the in-swinger. On the edge of the 6-yard box, Jones able to get up highest, but can only put it behind for yet another corner. Pressure mounting here for Southwestern as Trinity's forced to defend yet another set piece. This time it'll be Frey from the near side. This one sent towards the near post and goes all the way through. Touch off Vanderlee. And Mitchell gets it to the edge of the area. Still not cleared for Trinity. Turning and shooting was Scott Wilson and winning yet another corner. 5th of the game, 4th of the second half, and we've only played just about 6 minutes of the second 45. Referee going to have a discussion with Vidalis, as well as the Southwestern players right up on him, trying to make life difficult for the Trinity goalkeeper. Blake set for yet another corner. This one sent towards the near post, initially won by Moore, but it's fallen at the edge of the area for a Southwestern player. It was Jackson DeHaven who had his shot blocked.
Get the ball out, Trinity, come on!
Trinity just can't get it out at the moment as Van Houten comes across for another throw-in, which is essentially the equivalent of a near post corner. They vary it up here. The two runners come short. And they send it in, looking for the near post flick. It's won by Jones. And Trinity look to get out. And they're aided in doing so by a lofted back pass to the goalkeeper, who has to put it in touch as Duenas closed him down. Trinity finally out of their own box for really the first time in the half. Duenas fouled by Van Houten. Good quick touch there from Duenas. He was never going to get it back, but he knew what he needed to do, and that was draw the free kick deep in Southwestern's half. And a game of set pieces can be won by a man like Jack Downs. We've seen the quality he has from dead balls. He's over this one. A couple stutter steps, and he sends it towards the back post. Mitchell's there, wins the initial header, and it's comfortable for Jack Viles, who reaches up to grab it. Going to go down as the third shot on target for Trinity. Comfortably held by Jack Viles. He's been beaten once today by Fraser Burns from the penalty spot. Here's a chance for Southwestern to potentially equalize. Jacob Piot breaks forward into the box. His cross is cut out by Velos. Trinity sends it clear. Pressure's relentless from the Pirates. Ball that time was looking for Piet. But once again, Southwestern controls it. Jones applying the pressure. Up against Frey, he's chipped over the top of Jones, and it's good movement this time from Frey. Covering was Jesus Velos. His clearance only as far as the Southwestern Pirates player. Carduna Jaramillo sends it in, and Vidalis get a chance to catch and give his defense a break. It's good steal there from Skylar Frey on the near side. Put it over the top of his defender, and opened up the space for the Pirates. Couldn't take advantage that time. Duenas, ball around the corner for Galan. He's on the overlap, coming from left back. Can he get onto his favored right foot? He runs into Van Houten, who puts it out for a throw-in on the far side. And more injury trouble for Trinity, and yet another crucial defender has stayed down, and this time it's Jacob Galan. They've already lost Brady Johnson to injury in this game, and they were using Galan as a makeshift left back. They'll turn to Martin Mata to try and cover the hole on the left side of the defense. It's about to be vacated by first-team All-SCAC defender Jacob Galan. Mata, the senior from Houston, Texas. Enters the game. He'll be the left fullback opposite Jesus Velos, who's had a strong start to the second half defensively. And the Trinity backline, which came in with bags of experience, now heavily depleted. Johnston on the bench, Galan now on the bench. No Colton Wilbur available for the game. So they'll have to make do as they defend a 1-0 lead here in San Antonio. Looks like Trinity will try a long throw-in of their own. Mata with the ball in his hands and a couple of Tiger players in the area. Mata's first involvement is to fire the throw into the feet of Mitchell. Gives it back to Mata. Turns over possession. And good work in the midfield there from Frey to shrug off Jack Downs. But he sent it to nobody up top.
Jackson, the other side, the other side! Force this way! Force this way! Good!
Rule drops it back to Vidalis, the two JC members of this Trinity team. Blanc, time to get his head up. Looks for the big switch to Mitchell, who had space. Van Houten came across to intercept, but it fell at the feet of Downs. Mata wants the ball from Mitchell, and it may break for him as he is battling up against Garrison Van Houten. Vanderlee called for a foul that time. Breaking up the counterattack as Nathaniel Blake had his back to goal. 10 minutes gone in the second half. We saw a spell of pressure from the Pirates, which they couldn't find their way onto the score sheet, followed by pretty balanced 5 minutes between the two teams. Foul called as that one was sent towards the edge of the area for some coming together. Gives possession back to Trinity. It's been a game that in many ways resembled a territorial battle, a possession battle. Tactics are interesting if the game isn't always. The way that Southwestern approach this matchup. Duenas coming back to try and put the pressure on Sullivan. But it's launched forward and Mata will be called into action, but it's fallen at the feet of Nathaniel Blake. Moore tracking back, trying to defend, commits a foul. And this may be about 25 yards from goal, but it's in a central area, which could pose some questions for Vidalis if someone steps up to shoot here. So two players over it for Southwestern, Theo Givens as well as Skylar Frey. One left-footed, one right. Skylar Frey looks like he's in control of the situation. 25 yards from goal, Skylar Frey, and he made Vidalis think about it. Not a bad attempt that time for the first-year midfielder playing at home here in San Antonio, Texas, graduate of Churchill High School. Fidelis goes quickly to Blanc. Ethan Moore dropping deeper to try and facilitate a Trinity attack. It's a big crossfield switch to Mata. Nearly has it pipped off his feet. And eventually it is turned over to the Pirates. Rule with a big header one that time. Jackson DeHaven in the area. Southwestern can come forward now. DeHaven maybe in behind. Rule coming across with another big tackle. John Connor Rule, sophomore defender. Another San Antonio product. Getting it done there defensively for Trinity. Certainly had questions asked of them here in the second half. Van Houten comes across to take the throw. 3 players check to the ball. And he launches it in towards the near post. The header won by Jones yet again. Blake will take it on the right foot and skews it well wide. Flake going with his weaker foot there from distance. With hopes of a goal, but perhaps more so just to allow his team to get back in position. Vanderleet. Some time as the instruction comes from the Trinity bench for Ethan Moore to try and find more of the ball. Duenas here locked in a foot race. One that Fortner wins and puts behind for a throw-in. Velos will take. Duenas not got a ton of touches in the attacking third. Here's a chance for one. And he gets past his defender and wins another free kick. Jacob Piat committing the foul. Second time that Duenas here in the second half has been able to take a deft touch around the defender and draw a foul. See if it can lead to something here for Trinity as Jack Down stands over the free kick. Velos just about 10 yards away to the left of Jack Downs. Downs not convinced of the 10 yards by the Southwestern wall, and they do indeed need to take one step back.
In between 12, yes, right there, right there.
And Downs will now send it in and drives it across. It finds the foot of Vanderlee, who sent it back in. Trinity has to contain this before it turns into a counterattack, and they do. Now Jones running from the left side sends the left-footed ball in, deflected behind for a corner. Good news for Trinity fans is that Brady Johnson appears to be up and ready to go back into the game. He's been warming up down to my right, and he's amongst the Trinity subs getting their final instructions. Here's Ethan Moore, isolated against his defender in the corner. Runs into Velos' teammate. Jesus Velos gets the crossaway on his right foot. A couple of players queuing up at the back post. It's repelled by the Pirates. Jones coming across, needs to make a play on the ball, and he does, ahead of Garrison Van Houten. He was the last man back, a risky play, but he backed his pace and got it done. Trinity has the ball back here in the corner. Mitchell sends it into the area. No one really waiting, but Duenas handled the ball twice in that sequence. Three substitutes ready for Trinity. 2 of them will be in midfield with Simon and McCord ready to come back. And Brady Johnston also consulting with Coach Carty before heading onto the field. Tigers have a new member of their coaching staff this year. Assistant Michael LaHood has NCAA experience winning a Division I title at Wake Forest way back in 2007 and logged over 18,000 professional minutes, including a couple of seasons for San Antonio FC here in town. See why we're stopped here. Trinity player is down, I think suffering with cramp. Peter Blanc is the one down. He's got the trainer there, and he's got Jack Downs, the one trying to give him some treatment. With Johnson set to come back in, it won't be a huge concern for Trinity, but they'll hope to see him later in this one as the Tigers will try and get this 1-0 lead over the line for their third victory to start the season. So it'll be a free kick for Southwestern after the stoppage. Skylar Frey to take. Both teams getting some instruction from their coaches during the injury timeout. Frey with the hand raised sends it onto the hands of Juan Carlos Vidalis, who wasn't challenged, and can roll it out to his left for J.C. Rule. Rule ahead to Moore. Southwestern start their press, and Rule realizes as such, doesn't drop it back to Johnson, who's back in the game for Blanc. Here is Johnson. First touch in the second half goes back to Vidalis. J.C. Rule head to Downs, drops it back. Downs. Some tidy footwork before Vanderlee puts it out of play. Vanderlee headed to SMU next season, play at the Division I level for Coach Hudson. Of course, all the athletes given an extra year of eligibility due to this abbreviated season here in the spring. SMU, where Southwestern head coach Dustin Norman was once the assistant. Also coached at Oregon State, Houston Baptist, and a couple other schools prior to taking over in Georgetown. Trinity tries to repel from the long throw, but it falls to the feet of Van Houten. Garduna Jaramillo swings it across the back line. Loose touch in midfield. It is turned over. Vanderlee looking to make a nuisance of himself. Definitely making life difficult here for the Pirates as they try and play out of the back and eventually play it into touch. Trinity able to up the pressure there. And they make changes in their midfield. Vanderlee and McCord. Vanderlee for McCord, and Ethan Moore makes way for Jake Simon. Velos goes back to Johnston. Head up. Finds the chest of Dueñez. Takes a good first touch and puts it towards Jones. Last touch off a Pirate. An awkward hobbling for Scott Wilson. We'll see if he's okay. As Trinity playing with fire a bit at the back. Mofi Arroyo back into the game here in the second half. He's the one applying the pressure. And Simon clears it. 20 minutes into the second half. Southwestern have had the better chances, but Trinity stay in the lead. Van Houten into Piet. Fortner now on the right side. Some space for him. You see the shots on goal, 3-2 for Trinity. Those two shots on goal for the Pirates, both coming in the opening 5 minutes of this half. They had corner after corner. Couldn't get there in time, but still forces the turnover to Velos. Frey combines with Piat to foul Velos. Hear the conversation between Coach Norman and the official. Gives him the universal signal for that's enough. It's just as a verbal warning. Johnson gives it back to Velos. He's closed down, and Vidalis will come out of his goal to send this one clear. Trinity playing with fire there out of the back. And Coach Norman, who has been persistent in his criticism of the officials, is now the first name in the book. Van Houten plants his feet in the ground and throws it forward. And Peyton Sullivan is called for a foul. Might be one that Coach Norman talked his team into.
I don't like you joking with them. That's not professional. That's not professional. That's not okay.
Johnston back to Vidalis.
Hey, why don't you come over here and you can talk to me too?
That's professional.
Joines knocks it down for Mitchell. Scott Jones out on the right wing if he can track down this long ball from Mitchell. Jones concedes a throw.
Come on, Jackson. Come on, Jackson. Pull him out. Pull him out. Yes, now. Now you're good. Right there.
And there's going to be a water break here as Trinity leads with a quarter of the match to go. Fraser Burns penalty, the difference so far in this game, which has been really starved of any goal mouth action, save for corner kicks, throw-ins, free kicks. Not a ton of clear-cut chances from open play for either side thus far. You see 9 shots for Southwestern, 2 of those on goal, both saved by Vidalis. 7 shots for Trinity, 3 on goal, 2 saves for Jack Viles, 1 goal for Fraser Burns. And we've got 22:46 remaining in this game. Trinity looking to improve to 3-0 in the young season and move past the Pirates in the SCAC standings. Setting up a potential first versus second matchup on Sunday against St. Thomas. Southwestern looking to move up into first place themselves with a win. Only a win would do. Game started out at just about 90 degrees, which is why we're taking the water break. Since the shade has set in, it's much more comfortable here in San Antonio. No longer feels like the home opener weather in terms of August summer heat. Both teams all set to get back underway. The Southwestern throw. Van Houten launches it skyward. Second header is won by Arroyo, but controlled by Mitchell in midfield. Mitchell past one defender, has help out to his left. Martin Mata advancing into the attacking third now. Can go past his defender, and he does. Dinks it towards the back post. Jones, the only one there for Trinity to join him. McCord with some space, 30 yards from goal. A dummy from Mitchell opens up the space for Mata. Left wing, cuts in onto his right, sends a low cross in. Easily repelled by the visitors. Trinity keeping this attack alive. It's Jack Downs using his body well, edge of the area. Now looking for a teammate to help out. It's Velos down the right wing. Velos with some space to get the cross in. It's blocked and put behind for a corner. Good spell of pressure for Trinity there. Mentioned there hasn't been much by way of open play opportunities, and you can see why there, as every Southwestern player back within 30 yards of goal, defending. Corner kick played in. Mitchell heads it back across. It's cleared by Southwestern. Van Houten will track it down. Joinie is looking to make life difficult. Van Houten is able to shield it out of play for a goal kick.
Keep lifting it, Brady. Yeah.
Two subs poised to come in for Coach Norman's side. The senior Luis Ramirez returning to the game. And we'll get the other one for you in just a moment. For Trinity, Burns, Somerville, and Ajit are ready to re-enter. Southwestern turns, drops it back. Front three for Trinity can put the work in here as they're set to depart momentarily. I'm sure they've already had a glance over at the Trinity bench. And the subs will now come in. So Burns, the goal scorer, will re-enter. Nathaniel Blake and Luis Ramirez for the Pirates. Somerville had an assist against Southwestern last season, and he also got an assist on opening weekend as well this year. Header won by Trinity. First opportunity for Burns. It's taken off his feet by Matt McCord, sent towards Somerville. So Mitchell comes off, meaning Aggie will take position on the left wing. Johnson with a rare aerial duel loss there up against Mufi Arroyo. And Southwestern have numbers in the box. Luis Ramirez straight off the bench. And straight into the back of Johnston, commits the foul. Johnston shaken up by the earlier collision, and of course had to exit through injury already. Simon can't connect with a teammate. And Van Houten comes across. Ajit wins the header, falls to the feet of Burns, who slices a ball down the line for Somerville in pursuit. McCord connects with Mata on the left side, finds the ball into the feet of Burns, plenty of space for the number 9 to roam into. It's passed off to Somerville, who wanted Veloz to his right. Couldn't connect with the first-year defender. And Simon will just put the fire out. Put it behind for a goal kick. Two subs now for Southwestern. Entering the game, Jackson Hill and Winston Hebert. Jacob Piot and Theo Givens come to the bench for Southwestern with 18 to play here at Paul McGinley Field. Viles with a big run up and a booming goal kick, 10 yards past the halfway line. The flick on was won by Southwestern, but runs out of play for Jesus Veloz throw. Veloz, of course, the brother of former Trinity player Osvaldo Veloz, played left back as opposed to his brother's right back position. And 4 years of Osvaldo, or Ozzy. Now we got 4 years of Jesus Veloz. Free kick here for the high foot from Jake Simon. Nathaniel Blake will take it with the right foot here. The driven ball towards the back post, overhit. Difficult to put in a good service from that far from goal. But with the way, of course, they send throw-ins from all over the field into the area, it's always going to go in for the Pirates and Coach Norman. Vidales warned here as they say the ball wasn't fully stopped when he took the goal kick. Maybe a cheeky thumbs up towards the official as he made sure it was stopped that time. Dumps it off for Johnston. Johnston's long ball finds the feet of Somerville, who's able to connect with Burns. Burns to Jones now down the line, isolated against his defender. He's got Veloz coming on the overlap. Jones gets to the byline and dinks the cross in, repelled at the near post. It's a good position for Jones to get in. Looks like he'll depart now, though, for Kyle Davis, who won the penalty that Burns converted. Showed some tricky skills in the first half, Kyle Davis, as opposed to maybe the more vertical threat being Connor Jones. Looks like he'll switch wings with Adji, who comes to the right. Adji does receive the throw in here. Trinity looking to play out of the corner. Eventually does come to Simon, 20 yards from goal. Wide for Mata. Brings it infield, has Davis to his left, but the pass is intercepted. And Southwestern will look to play out. Arroyo down the wing, but it runs out of play ahead of him as Adji is doing the defensive work, tracking back. It's one of those where you hear footsteps and you panic, as Arroyo did there. Velos looking to get it all the way to Adji. It's intercepted on the way through. Johnston again struggling with that knee as Southwestern play on. Rule clears it. Johnston, the nearest Tiger in the area, and he'll retreat to his center back position. Certainly looking like a wounded warrior out there at the moment, Brady Johnston. Good skill from Davis on the far side. Passes defender once and draws the free kick the second time. And the yellow card will come out here for the first time towards a player on either side. Coach Norman, previously the only one booked. And the big aerial threats will go forward for Trinity. Rule and Johnston forward from the back. Burns is over it, as McCord and Velos, the only two to stay back for the home team. High arcing ball sent in by Burns, bobbled by the goalkeeper, and it's still not cleared. The referee calls a foul that time. And Johnston given a yellow card, presumably for dissent. And as a center back now, he has to be careful. Can't commit any tactical fouls the rest of the way, else he might see red. Viles. Goal kick is won by Mata. Burns looking to get a foot on the ball for Trinity in the midfield. Trinity that time have to turn and face their own goal, but Rule does well. And Mata wins a free kick. Maybe buys a free kick there. Trinity, whose 2019 did not go to plan last year. Of course, nobody's 2020 went to plan, but the Tigers, who are usually so dominant over their regular season schedule, finished 12-7-2 on the year, 6-3 in conference, but 2-2-3 to non-conference opponents. And if things go as the way we expect this season, there won't be any non-conference opponents for Trinity, which, looking at those numbers, may be good news. They were able to win an NCAA tournament game against UTD 3-1 before they fell to Claremont Mud Scripps in the second round. Nobody in double figures scoring for Trinity last year, and their leading scorer, Andre Cotaspati, not with the team at the moment. They did have 17 different players on the score sheet, which may be a good sign for Trinity in terms of a scoring by committee approach. This year they've got 4 different scorers and 4 goals. Here's one of them, Burns. Has the go-ahead goal today and draws a foul from Blake 5 yards into the Southwestern half. Four subs ready to come in for the two teams. Alan McGuire will make his first appearance competitively here at Paul McGinley Field for Trinity. And Theo Givens, Skylar Frey, and one other player will come into the game shortly for Southwestern. Trinity on the attack here with Adji down the right wing. Low cross sent in. Didn't find a teammate. Run to match it. Piot is the third substitute for the Pirates. Mata will come to the bench, and looks like we'll see our fourth left back here, as Davis will drop back into the back line, and McGuire will position himself on the left wing for the Tigers. 11 minutes and change remaining in this game. It's been low scoring, closely contested as we would expect, looking at the recent score lines between these teams. 2-1 in both games last year for Trinity, who have a throw in. Looking for Adji. Finds its way back to the feet of Velos. Combination with Burns. No space for Adji, so he drops it off to McCord. Big switch to the chest of the substitute, Alan McGuire. McGuire can now get his head up and run to the defense, but his pass is cut out. Theo Givens drops it back for Southwestern, who hit the big switch to Piot. Ramirez has it taken off his toes, and Adji will look to use his pace to get past Ramirez, and he does. Pass, though, not up to snuff, as couldn't pick out Mac McCord. And now a chance for Piot up against Velos here, going the other way. Adji tracking back, and Burns tracking back is the one that makes the interception. Vidalis, the one that makes the clearance. Somerville using his body well and shrugging off the defender before he's brought to ground. It was really uncomfortable for Scott Wilson, who stayed down. They call him Big Sums for a reason. Michael's out in that number 9 position. And Scott Wilson, on the unfortunate end of that collision. Luckily, it looks like just a cramp, as the trainer is onto the field to tend to him. Under 10 to play. And the score remains 1-0 here for the home team. Both teams playing without some of their leading attacking talent from last season. Ashton Bynum not involved for Southwestern. Neither is their leading scorer, Spotty, not involved for Trinity, who led the way in terms of goal scoring with 9 goals. And because of that, I think we've seen a very defensive affair where every set piece is valued by both teams. It was a dead ball opportunity that Fraser Burns converted from 12 yards. That was the game's only goal back in the first half. He's standing over it once again, this time much further out. About 40 yards from Jack Vile's goal as the Trinity Tigers take position on the edge of the area. It's going to be a whipped service from the Scotsman. Velos feigns an overlapping run just to test the defense. Ramirez came across to mark it. There is the service from Burns. It's excellent, and rising to meet it at the back post was Somerville, but he couldn't convert. A terrific service in from Burns. Was just asking to be finished off, but Somerville's header went wide. You see the whip that he's able to get to connect with Michael Somerville's forehead, just sent agonizingly over the bar from a Trinity perspective. McCord puts it in behind. Somerville in pursuit. always making a nuisance of himself, but that time it was a great turn from Piot that relieved the pressure for Southwestern. The captain, Vanderlee, is ready to come back into the game to try and see this one out for Trinity at the next opportunity. Ball finds its way to the feet of Sullivan, who drops it back. Somerville still pressing high. Missed kick that time from Johnson. Native. Somerville. Is he in behind here? No. Coming across to deal with it. Reagan Fortner. Still not fully cleared for the Pirates. Johnston makes solid contact on the clearance, but it falls to a yellow shirt. Rolls all the way through to Vidalis. Will take his time in picking the ball up. Vidalis launches it clear. Looking for Adji, who's able to knock it down. Burns closest to it for Trinity, but it's turned over to Ramirez. Ball down the line for Piot, but it runs out of play before he can keep it in. Just overhit by Garduno Jaramillo. And it's going to be a defender for a striker here for Coach Norman. As the clock ticks down, Winston Herbert comes to the bench. And an attacking change for the Pirates with 7 minutes to go. They need a goal. They pushed Colorado College right to the wire before they were able to equalize through Theo Givens in the 86th minute last time out. Trinity going to have to put together a 90-minute performance defensively to get this one over the line. They've got 6.5 to go as Vanderlee clears that one out of play. By Van Houten. Some of the defensive players make their way forward for the Pirates. Van Houten launches it in. Vanderlee repels it and will do it again. Initial flick won by Southwestern, so they'll get a throw in from 20 or so yards closer. And the bodies will be in the box here for Van Houten's effort. There's 2 stay back for the Pirates as Van Houten launches it in. It's one at the near player out in terms of the throw-in. Hands over it. The in-swinging delivery is on its way. It's right on top of the Trinity goalkeeper Vidalis, who gets a hand to it, but it falls to Fortner at the back post, and this game is all tied. Make it Jacob Piot with the left foot, made sweet contact, and Trinity is punished for giving up a corner here late in the game. See Vidalstern, who are no stranger to having defenders on the score sheet, with as often as they get forward, see the opportunities fall to them rather frequently, and that time Piot looked like the most accomplished of strikers in the way he took that. Johnston, pressure coming, has to launch it towards Somerville. Great first touch from Somerville. And Alan McGuire now coming off the right. Alan McGuire sends it across. He had a wide open teammate, Fraser Burns. The cross couldn't find the Scotsman. Alan McGuire there with a chance for an instant reply to the Southwest Piot. Good win that time from Johnston. And they'll look once again over the top for Somerville. Burns left-footed ball, the goalkeeper. Free kick against Trinity here. Johnson was the one challenging for it, and he's whistled for a foul. Under 3 minutes remaining. And everyone on both benches on their feet. Last game for Southwestern went double overtime, went the distance without finding a winner. Could be headed for the first extra time period if this score holds. Trinity, though, going to be tasked with dealing with yet another corner kick. Southwestern will wait on their substitute. Take this corner with 2:14 remaining. It's lofted in. The heads go up. Trinity repels it initially. It may fall field. Try and finish this one off in regulation. Southwestern with no other game this weekend, but Trinity having to contend with a Sunday fixture against St. Thomas, who currently top the table in the SCAC. And with how early we really are in the season, fitness always a concern. Vidalis, goal kick is off the head of Givens for a Trinity throw on the far station. DeHaven making life difficult for Johnson, who slices his clearance and gives them one more chance for the long throw-in. Under a minute to go. Can the Pirates smash and grab here with 2 late goals, or will we be headed for extra time? This should be the last play of the game as Van Houten comes across to take the throw. Just one player back for the Pirates as it's launched in. Rule clears it. And now Trinity may have something on the break here with 20 seconds to go. Ajit gets tangled up in the midfield. And the rifled into the top of the net following a corner kick. Cancels out for Well, Trinity's home opener last season went to extra time up against the University of Texas Dallas Comets. That game was won by Jacob Hallenberger in the first period. We're set for 10 extra minutes or golden goal here at Paul McGinley Field between Southwestern and Trinity University and the Tigers' home opener for 2021. The final stats through regulation for Southwestern: they had 12 shots, 4 on goal, 2 saves from Vidalis, committed 17 fouls, and had 7 corner kicks, one of which, of course, led to their equalizing goal that you saw during the break, taken extremely well by Jacob Piat. For Trinity, they had 8 shots, 3 on goal, and forced 3 saves. Committed 13 fouls, had 5 corners, and looks like the lineup for the Tigers coming out will be Johnston, Rule, Galan, who's back into the game, Velos, Vanderlee, Moore, Dueñez, Downs, Kyle Davis, and Connor Jones. Southwestern will have kickoff, and that means 4 players lined up, almost like a football formation, 4 receivers to the left. And drop it back to their quarterback, Barduna Aramillo, and eventually send it down the line. Vanderlee wins the header, knocks it down for Trinity. Kyle Davis was the closest to it. And eventually he's on the ball here after Vanderlee was able to switch the play. Davis battling through the contact, which should result here in a yellow card for the tactical foul. No yellow card there given against the Southwestern player who was beat badly by Davis on the dribble. But Trinity will still have a chance to send this one in. Johnston was able to score and a come from behind win last week. Can he do the same here? Ethan Moore's delivery is under hit, and it's easily repelled by the Pirates. Back to Moore. He'll try again. This time has more height on it. Johnston in the area, but too much height on it for the senior. Good to see Jacob Galan back out there after I think he cramped in the second half. He's on the right side here with Velos setting up on the left. We've seen those two play in both roles today. Velos at left back for Trinity, not an unfamiliar sight. The knockdown won by Southwestern, and DeHaven maybe through here, a chance to win the game for Southwestern, and it's a heroic block and a heroic save from Vidalis that prevents him from doing so. If the critics would point to Vidalis on the corner and say he should have done better, he's done everything he can there. A golden opportunity for DeHaven to snatch the game here with just 2 minutes played in overtime. Nonetheless, Trinity have to deal with the corner. Sent right on top of Vidalis, flicked off a Trinity head, and behind at the other side for another corner. Definitely trying to crowd Vidalis and not let him make a play on the ball. Vidalis listed at 5'10", the junior goalkeeper from Laredo. Takes the number 1 position from Blake Lieberman, who held it most of last season, graduated and moved on now. Hand raised and the corner sent in for Southwestern and flicked on the way through, and it'll be yet another corner for the Pirates. This is how the second half started, with plenty of set-piece opportunities just going from one side to the other. Couldn't score off one there. And eventually came good later in the half to tie this game up at 1 apiece. Their 11th corner is on the way. Sent into the danger area, headed clear by Galan, and sent clear by Vanderlee. Dueñez, 2v1, is the only one forward. It's not great defending there from Fortner, so Dueñez is still on the attack. Still in pursuit for the throw-in is conceded at the far side. There's Luis Ramirez tracking back. Was forced to concede the throw. With 6 minutes and change remaining in the first overtime period. Play as many as 2, 10 minutes apiece, or until someone can win the game. Dropped off to Vanderlee. Try and curve a service in. It comes to the edge of the area. Ball bouncing around. No one with a foot on it before Ethan Moore plants his foot behind it and sends the shot just wide. Ethan Moore nearly wins it in spectacular fashion. A game which didn't have much by way of open play opportunities in the first half has had plenty here in overtime, and that shot by Ethan Moore, maybe off the upper arm of the Southwestern defender, maybe the chest. Either way, it's behind for a corner. One at the back post by Galan. He looks to knock it down for a teammate, but it's cleared for the Pirates. DeHaven in pursuit. Veloz has to come across and deal with it. DeHaven showing a good turn of pace here. He may be in behind, and it's a heroic tackle from Jesus Veloz. Jesus Veloz looked like he was beaten, and he came out of nowhere to make the game-saving tackle. And that deserves to be on the highlight reel. Harmless ball sent in, now will be held by Vidales. How about that for a 5 minutes of play after 90 minutes, which maybe didn't exactly write the headline itself. Seems like somebody is destined to be the match winner here in San Antonio. Jones looking to keep that one in play. Can't do so as it runs out. Sullivan in the area for the Pirates. Van Houten's throwing. Comes off the Trinity head. Nathaniel Blake was the one involved for Southwestern. Galan for Trinity. Van Houten with what feels like his 100th throw of the game. Sends it towards Blake. Cleared by Vanderlee right to the feet of Dueñez. Can he hold it up, make it stick? No, it's taken off his toes by Van Houten. Put in behind for DeHaven. DeHaven has shown some good speed. Of course, was caught up by Veloz moments ago, but he's certainly making himself known amongst that Trinity back line at the moment as Van Houten comes forward for another throw. Van Houten plants his feet, sends it in, it's flicked onto the near post, still bouncing in the area. Trinity need to deal with this, and offside. Comes to their aid as the flag goes up. Vidales wants to go short. Vanderlee checks to give him the option. Stud cuts it out wide to J.C. Rule. This ball down the line is intercepted. Downs looking to pick it up. And a sub comes into the game for the Pirates. Garrison Inkstrom. I haven't seen a ton of him today. DeHaven comes to the bench. Maybe surprisingly, he's coming off with some pace, and certainly had pace to burn, as we saw, causing Trinity's backline problems. Downs lifts it over to defender, finds Jones in some space. Galan at full sprint comes in on the overlap. Jacob Galan, defender coming across to deal with it. And it's a Trinity throw. Vanderlee lays it back to Galan, who puts it around the corner. But last touch off Trinity. It's behind for a goal kick. It's hard to call because you'd say a draw would flatter the Pirates, but it's their game plan. They know they aren't going to score many goals. They're going to be resolute defensively. They're going to take it slow from set pieces and set everything up. So far, you have to say their game plan has got them right in this game where they want to be.
Headed by Trinity, we have to throw out the Reagan. It's in. Entry balls all the time.
Johnson with a big header one coming out of the back line, and he wins a second over Ramirez. Ball falls to the feet of Davis. Downs some space in the midfield, picks his head up and finds Connor Jones. He's got a chance if he goes quickly to go 1-against-1. He comes inside his defender. This ball's left jacked down short, but he's picked it up anyway with the slide tackle. Veloz, the chop pass out wide for Ethan Moore, cuts onto his favored right foot. The ball sent in towards the back post, still not cleared as the heads go up. Jack Viles rises the highest to claim. Good opportunity worked by Trinity there, but the Southwestern goalkeeper was up to the challenge. Ultimately, Jones was the one jumping with him. And looks like that will do it for the first period of extra time. Both teams with golden opportunities. DeHaven for Southwestern and Ethan Moore's shot that went just wide for the Tigers. If there's going to be a winner, we're going to have to decide it in the final 10 minutes when we return. So we'll play at most 10 more minutes here of SCAC men's soccer action. As these two teams knotted at 1 goal apiece, Trinity struck first in the first half. A Fraser Burns penalty put them in front. The 2021 home opener for Trinity Soccer. You see Coach McGinley getting final words into his team. Mitchell's back in the game. In the attack for the Tigers. Adji will lead the line. Mitchell off the right, Davis off the left. Midfield of Burns, Vanderlee, and Moore in the back line of Galan, Johnston, Rule, and Veloz. DeHaven back up front for the Pirates. Had overtime's best chance ripped away from him by Jesus Veloz. Burns back in the game, the goal scorer. Knocks it down for Kyle Davis, who has the shot from distance blocked. Veloz showing his stamina, still getting into the attack here in the 111th minute of this game. No, I did the math wrong. 101st minute of this game. We'll play at most 110. If it ends as the tie. Burns looking to win it here. Sends the corner in right on top of the goalkeeper. It's loose in the 6. And sent skyward but not clear for the Pirates. Mitchell looking to use his strength to hold up the play. And he's whistled for a foul as he lost body position against his defender. Trinity will retreat. 8.5 to go. Ball's launched towards DeHaven. Header won by Galan. Mitchell looks to get it under control. Ball finds his way to the sweet feet of Ethan Moore. Pass intercepted. And Moore comes across, puts in a crunching tackle. Ball's out for a throw, and Southwestern will make a substitution. Nathaniel Blake in for Theo Givens. Southwestern yet to score twice in a game this season. Scored once in their opening 3 games. Trinity coming off a performance where they came from behind to win 2-1 against Austin College. They led for a majority of this game. Everyone's on their feet here for a grandstand finish in the second overtime. The game all square. Free kick for Trinity. Be taken by Johnston. Johnson launches it towards Mitchell. He's able to get ahead to it. Burns will go up and contest the second ball. Velos puts it into the path of Kyle Davis. Van Houten comes across, makes the initial play, but now being harried by Kyle Davis in the corner. Eventually the ball is cleared. DeHaven closest to it for Southwestern. Rule gets ahead on the ball. Ethan Moore cramps as he was involved in the challenge. Everything left out there for both of these teams tonight. Velos runs into Davis, just needed to communicate there, as they both thought the ball was intended for himself. It's a throw for Velos. Has Moore short to his right. Everyone else approaching the Southwestern penalty area. Header from the Pirates. And Velos will do it again. Rule wanted it short, but they'll go towards Kyle Davis, who's able to win a free kick. And this is in a dangerous position for Trinity. We've already seen the class from Fraser Burns on a service earlier in the game from much further out. Needs a similar flat delivery here, whipped in to the danger area. Doesn't even necessarily need a touch. Just needs to hit the back of the net for the Tigers. Burns does whip it in. It hits the head of a Southwestern player. Moore has to be careful not to give up a counterattack here. He does well to keep it alive. Johnston puts it into the Southwestern penalty area, but it's comfortable for Viles, the goalkeeper. We're halfway through the second overtime. Nobody's found the golden goal just yet. Galan steps in to intercept it. And now looking to turn defense into offense. He blocks one clearance for Van Houten. Sends it skyward. Vanderlee's touch puts it out of play, and Van Houten will trudge forward to take yet another long throw. Blake is replaced by Embry, number 16 for the Pirates. Clock still running here. The ball out of play. Van Houten launches it forward. Galan wins the header. And J.C. Rule calls off Johnston to head it clear. Mitchell looking to juggle it over his defender. Puts it into the path of Jacob Galan. Jacob Galan now with a head of steam. Puts it into the feet of Adji. Jesus Velos now into the attack. Has Davis ahead of him. Davis isolated against his defender before the help defense came. Luis Ramirez wins it cleanly, says the official. Ethan Moore puts it into the penalty area, repelled by the Pirates. Bodies hitting the turf all over the place. As this physical game comes to a fitting conclusion, the referee blows the whistle here to stop play as Jacob Piat stayed down. Trinity would have had an advantage had he chose to play on, as Piat, the left back, was down. Looks like for a cramp. Trailing the Southwestern Pirates in the SCAC standings, who are 2-0-1, including a big victory against Texas Lutheran to open their year. Piot, the goal scorer, won't be able to continue. You can see the cramp setting in. And an attacking change as Mofi Arreo is back in for the first time in a while, and DeHaven is dropped back into the back line. Ball should go back to Trinity, but that's been a point of contention all night. What to do from these drop balls, contested or uncontested. Tigers definitely had possession on this occasion, and the Pirates will send it clear. Trinity going to have to make up just about 80 yards to the position where the game was brought to a halt for the injury. Johnston launches it forward, looking for Adji. Burns trying to press. Now you see him limp away from the altercation. Moore able to get a fantastic touch from the ground to keep it alive in midfield, and now he's got it. Pokes it out to Golan. Adji makes sure that the Pirates can't take their time getting the ball back in play. Sets it down for Viles, the goalkeeper. We approach the 2-minute mark in Trinity's home opener for 2021. Vanderleet wins the header. Mitchell can't track it down. Moore pokes it out of play, and Southwestern have a sub ready, and they will make it. Maybury, who started the game but hasn't seen much action in the second half or in overtime, will come back in now with a chance to make the biggest impact, winning it with a golden goal. Initial header won by Southwestern. They've got the ball in the Tigers' corner. They put it into the area. It's laid off at the edge. And hearts were in mouths as Skylar Frey thrashed that one wide. Might that have been the chance to win it? See, such good contact made by Frey. He sent Vidalis sprawling. Vidalis thankful. It goes wide. Chance for Trinity now at the other side. Davis whips it towards the back post. It may break for Burns, and he missed his kick. Still with Trinity, though. So he drops it off to Velos, who's left-footed cross. Nearly sneaks all the way through. Goodness me, Jack Viles nearly made a mess of that. Both teams with a golden opportunity to win it in the final moments of this game. Viles, is there one more chance in it? Rule wins the header, knocks it down for Galan. It's turned over, Pirate ball. 1 against 1 here before Moore comes across, shrugs off the attacking player for Southwestern, and that will do it. A Southwestern Trinity Classic here ends in a 1-1 draw. Neither team comes up with the golden goal in overtime, but you can't say there weren't chances both ways. Some of the best of the game came after the 90 minutes had concluded. Southwestern now with 8 points through 4 games. After a couple of hard-fought 1-1 draws in their last 2 games against Colorado College and Trinity. You see the final stats on your screen. Very similar for both teams, but it was done very differently. Southwestern doing it through set pieces. Every opportunity from a throw, from a corner. They made good use of it. They scored from a corner. Trinity trying to create from open play. Were able to get 13 shots off for it on goal and forced 3 saves out of Jack Viles. Burns, the goal scorer for the Tigers. Jacob Piot, the goal scorer for Southwestern. And it ends all square, 1 apiece. We thank you for joining us on this Friday night, and we'll be back in action Sunday as Trinity take on conference leaders, the University of St. Thomas, That one, of course, on the Tiger Network. Have a good night.